Round of applause and welcome Paul to the stage! Paul to the stage! Paul to the stage! Hi everyone.
Hi.
Good evening. My name is Paul. Hey. This is the second time that I've done this without wearing lots of fancy costume effects and to hide behind a bit of a mask. But this is part of my journey, is just to kind of stand in front of you as I am. So that's what I'm doing. Because for most of my life I've worn a mask to try and gain acceptance and love from people from the word go, as long as I can remember. And that's been quite an exhausting thing. I don't know if anybody can relate to that in this room. Almost wanting to feel like you have to be somebody else. Like I kind of felt that for a long time I felt there was something wrong with me. So who would like me or who would love me for just being who I am? And that's been a real journey, having to kind of learn that. And I used to be this entertainer. I used to run around making people laugh, and that's how I got love and acceptance. But I don't do that anymore, so if you're expecting any jokes, I'm afraid you're going to be very disappointed. I'm not here to, what do you expect? On an open mic, Nick? You know, how do we sell this thing? It's about coming up and being entertained. So sorry about that, but yeah, I can just be me. And I had this idea about a year ago. I'll give you a little bit of the backstory. Is that so I work in the field of personal development and empowerment, and I truly believe that we've all got treasure inside us. We've all got a light that needs to shine into the world. All of us, no exceptions. And what we tend to do is we will often hide that light. Certainly that's something I grew up to do, is to be somebody else, to hide that light. There's a saying about not making other people feel inferior. If I'm like just standing up here as I am, then would people feel inferior? If I'm just being myself, and that's what I want to be. It's quite hard work to try and be somebody else, unless you work as an Elvis impersonator or anybody else, in which case it's a really, really handy thing to do, and don't lose that ability. But ultimately as well, Nick, could you give us a 3-minute notice? Thanks. So yeah, I've been doing this, been trying to do one a week for a whole year, and for various reasons it's not kind of worked out that way, but it's something just incredible for anybody that's kind of done this through normally music up here. There's something incredible, isn't there, to be like up in front of people and to do things that part of you doesn't want to do. Like there's a part of me which doesn't want to come. It's like having a child that I have to kind of drag along, kicking and screaming, coming to the Brunswick every Monday night. There's something just really powerful in just being me. Now, I'm not going to take any more clothes off, but this is me as kind of naked as I'll get. How about that? Yeah. And I'm just very interested in mental health and spreading a good message, because there's a lot of stuff going on in the world that isn't particularly pleasant. And I think the world can feel like a bit of a scary place for people. It feels different to when I was growing up, and what can we do to make the world a better place, spread some love? So we might spread a little bit of love at the end. That sounds good. Do a little bit of that, because we're all going to die one day. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about that today? Thinking, oh, okay. And I'm all about spreading the love and universal truths. But if you start telling that to somebody in the bar area or on the number 1 bus or number 6 bus heading towards the station. People look at you a bit funny. But the intention is there because one day we're all going to die, and it's all going to be kind of too late to forgive that person that's done that wrong. We can kind of carry. If you ever want any hints about holding grudges, I used to be a complete master at that, so come and see me afterwards if you want to learn how to do that. So there was a study about, I think somebody wrote a book who was working in a hospice in Australia, and it's about the regrets of people who are dying, very much in touch with their own mortality. And I think the number 1 regret of people that were dying was to do with they wish they'd lived a life true to themselves rather than a life that other people wanted for them. All these shoulds and all this stuff that we kind of goes on in our heads. But if we can live more in the heart and understand that each day is precious, I could have very easily, everybody here, whether you're performing or otherwise, it would have been very easy just to hang about home, wouldn't it? Chill out, put your feet up. And particularly for the performers, there's a passion there, there's something you want to do, there's that light you want to share with the world, but quite often there's a fear around that. So these are kind of what I'm exploring, wanting to see what happens when we don't actually give in to that fear and follow that passion. So I salute everybody that's turned out tonight. I hope you have an amazing performance, I'm sure you will, because we are, one thing I get from the Brunswick, it's just it's beautiful, isn't it, Nick? It's very warm. We're like a family here, really.
Yeah, it's really warm. We've got aircon.
Okay.
You can do any temperature. It goes up to 30, actually.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what this is also your 3-minute warning.
Okay. So I'd like to invite everybody. So we're going to do a little bit of a meditation of loving kindness, we can call it. And the invitation is for you all to close your eyes. I'm not going to come around and steal your drinks or your nachos, I promise. And nobody else goes stealing drinks. The nachos are very good, but or just lowering your gaze if that's more comfortable. So you're looking at a point just in front of you in the room. So what I'd like you to do is just to imagine, visualise, or just get a sense of a person or an animal for whom you've got a lot of love. Just need to think of them, and it produces a warm, fuzzy feeling. Allowing that feeling to grow out from your heart, so that fills up your whole body. That feeling gets bigger and bigger, feeling that love spread out into the whole room, sending love to everybody in this room. It may have a particular colour, and then the whole pub seeing expanded, maybe bursting through the roof of the Brunswick out into the whole of Brighton. This great big ball of love, expanding. And getting bigger and bigger to the whole of the UK. And then imagine the whole planet now, everybody, no exception, all beings in this ball of love. And even that person at work you don't like very much. Even and particularly that neighbour or that ex. So we're all going to die one day. And then we can just learn to forgive. We're actually letting ourselves off the hook because they're walking around. completely unbeknownst if we're holding any grudges. So, yeah, and how nice it feels just to have that love, and how easy it is to tap into that. Just takes a couple of minutes a day, and not forgetting to send that love back to ourselves. Understanding it's not always easy being a human being in this life. Did I really sign up to all this? So this is a feeling we can tap into at any time. As quickly, if not quicker, than sending out bad vibes. And it feels a lot nicer. So, may all beings be happy, and may there be peace on earth. Thank you for listening. I've been Paul. Have a beautiful rest of the evening, and yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye.
Everyone, please give me a love out to the lovely Paul. Thank you so much, Paul. Next up the stage, it's going to be Del to the stage.